So, what if I don't have health insurance? Well, not everyone has it. Depending on one's income and legal status, qualification for Medicaid or other government programs may help pay for birth control and other healthcare services. So, what's so controversial about birth control then? Well, women in this country have long had to endure the stigmatization of contraception and to fight for their rights of bodily autonomy. In 1914, a public health nurse, Margaret Sanger, coined the term birth control during her decades-long crusade to make contraceptives legal and available to women in America due to the belief that enforced motherhood is the most complete denial of a woman's right to life and liberty. The first oral contraceptive was approved by the FDA, and 5 years later, the Supreme Court ruled that married couples have a constitutional right to privacy that included the right to use birth control. However, millions of unmarried women were still denied birth control until 1972. In 2010, the Affordable Care Act was passed, prohibiting sex discrimination in health insurance and requiring coverage of all preventative health care without copays. In 2014, the Supreme Court ruled that employers with religious objections can refuse to cover contraception in their health insurance plans. In 2018, the Trump administration expanded the religious exemption of the Affordable Care Act guarantee to employers of any size and added an exemption of moral objection. These legal actions within the Trump administration led to a 50% decrease in the availability of reproductive health services. The legal actions within the Trump administration led to a 50% decrease in the availability of reproductive health services to communities throughout the country. In July of 2020, the Supreme Court ruled to uphold the Trump administration's religious and moral exemptions of the Affordable Care Act. The blocking of access to insurance-covered birth control affects tens of thousands of people throughout the country, disproportionately harming low-income communities. Why might someone have moral or religious objections to birth control? Well, there are a few reasons why somebody might have these objections. The Catholic Church is opposed to artificial contraception because it is not unitive or procreative for a marriage. Some denominations within the Christian faith view contraception used outside of marriage as an encouragement of promiscuity. Another claim is that contraception can be classified as an abortifacient. It is important to make the distinction that contraception is not abortion, just as abortion is not contraception. A way to distinguish the two is that birth control prevents conception. Abortion takes place after fertilization, once conception has already occurred. Of employers that could be exempt for religious and moral reasons include 800,000 employees of Catholic hospitals, 2 million students and employees of universities with religious affiliations, and employees of nonprofit religious organizations. Because of these rulings, employees as well as their spouses or children may not have access to the benefits we previously discussed. With respect due to religious freedom, no one is actually required to use contraception who does not believe. This country is notably built on a foundation that includes both religious tolerance and freedom. Constitutionally, it can be argued that birth control is a medical treatment that could infringe upon one's moral beliefs, as has been proven through the verdicts of many Supreme Court rulings. It is also arguable that failure to provide contraceptive coverage is sex discrimination. Because prescription contraceptives are exclusively used by those with female reproductive systems, failure to provide coverage for those medications and devices violates the Civil Rights Act, because it singles out a specific gender, and that treating medication needed for pregnancy-related conditions less favorably discriminates on the basis of sex.